Love's done me a turn that can't be undone. At midnight alone, with an ache in my heart, by the river I sit, with a love on my mind. I've tried to forgive, tried to be the right one, but she proved false to me, and that can't be undone. She's proved false to me, and that can't be undone. Oh, midnight will pass and morning will come. They won't set me free from life's bitter run. Love's done me a turn that can't be undone. There's nary a wind on the river tonight. Clouds cover the stars. It's dark and it's quiet. The water rolls by on down to the sea. I'm left here alone. She's proved false to me. She's proved false to me, and that can't be undone. Though midnight will pass and morning will come, they won't set me free from life's bitter run. Love's done me a turn that can't be undone. Love's done me a turn that can't be undone. Listen to my story, friends, friends all gather round. All about young Jenny Blaine, they searched, she never was found. All upon one summer night, full moon up above, Jenny walked the river road to see the one she loved. Tom Chandler worked the fields that night, saw Jenny from afar, walking on the river road north of Quint, Sandbar. Tom Chandler left his team and went to the edge of the river road. When Jenny passed, he went across, carrying a heavy load. Now this same Tom was Jenny's love, she was going for to see. Tom Chandler was her own true love, she was 3 months with baby. Tom Chandler stopped at Quint Sandbar and laid down his heavy load, then ran downstream till he saw Jenny Blaine walking on the river road. He went to the road and met her there, saying, Jenny, come quick and see. I found a box with money full, now I shall marry thee. Oh Tom, can it be true? Where is this box you found? My Jenny Blaine, it's true enough, the river brought it down. They walked along the river bank, back to Quint's Sandbar. They could see the box in the full moonlight, they could see it from afar. Oh Tom, can it be true? Are you sure there's money there? My Jenny Blaine, it's true enough, there's more than your golden hair. The box lay there 5 feet long, 1 foot high, 2 wide, with fine carvings on the lid, fine carvings on the side. Oh Tom, what a strange box you found, how lovely and well made. She knelt to touch the carvings there, Tom swung a heavy spade. He filled the box 5 feet long, 1 foot high, 2 wide, with his own love Jenny Blaine and rocks of different size. He dug the grave 6 feet deep and lay his treasure in. Then he filled it all with sandy clay and went back to his field again. Tom Chandler stood in the moonlit night and gazed down from afar on Jenny Blaine, now buried deep in the middle of Quint's Sandbar. Does that deep river know me by name? Well, it should. I've come here time and time again, by its waters that soothe, in search of some lost truth, to pour out all the troubles here inside. Am I known by the rocks and by the trees? Does the moon up above recognize me? Do they all communicate in a secret ancient way and discuss the man who hangs his head in shame? Does the pathway know the feet that tread? Do the leaves nod at the weary head? Do the soft breezes know against whose face they blow? Are they angry or do they sympathize? Does the darkness cover friend or foe? Is tomorrow dumb or does it know what this long night will bring? Will there be a song to sing when the morning comes upon the hill? Does that deep river know me by name? Well, it should. I've come here time and time again, by its waters that soothe, in search of some lost truth, to pour out all the trouble here inside. Oh, that old stone arch bridge down across the Frenchman Creek is a famous spot within these here environs. It's been there 300 years, so long it shouldn't disappear. So much water's gone under that stone arch bridge, but they're going to tear it down and build a new road out of town. For a bypass we'll lose that stone arch bridge. For as long as I may live, I don't believe I can forgive the destruction of that fine old stone arch bridge. Those arches old and gray, it hurts to see them pass away. How the structure of that bridge has weathered time. Through flood and icy wind, it maintained its strength within. Those old granite stones should never tumble down. It's a bridge out from the past, they say it's grown too old to last. That new highway will pay the final toll. How many rains have come and gone underneath those ancient stones, and across those arches how many wheels have rolled. Oh, they'll put up something new, something simple and improved, and that stone arch bridge will be a memory. 300 years it stood, and now they say that it's no good. Well, I'll bet the new one don't last half that long. But they're going to tear it down and build a new road out of town. For a bypass we'll lose that stone arch bridge. For as long as I may live, I don't believe I can forgive the destruction of that fine old stone arch bridge. The destruction of that fine old stone arch bridge. I spoke to none, none spoke to me, as we sailed along on the Fricksydee. All day, all night on the blue-green sea, saileth a rover Fricksydee. I spoke to none, none spoke to me. For what destination saileth we? All day, all night on the blue-green sea. horizon to windward, horizon to lee, fore and aft of the Fricksydee. I spoke to none, none spoke to me. To what direction saileth we? All day, all night on the blue-green sea. To east, to west, and to each degree saileth the rover Fricksydee. I spoke to none, none spoke to me. And what of our captain, where is he? All day, all night on the blue-green sea. Oh, you wandering Fricksydee, sailing alone on the open sea. I spoke to none, none spoke to me. Gather round me, neighbors and friends, I've a tale of oceans and winds. She was only 35 feet, he sailed her all alone, out from the Acushnet River around the world and brought her home. Josh Slocum sailed alone aboard the Spray. It was April of 1895. Joshua Slocum took the Spray out with the tide, came back in June of 98, around the world she'd left her wake. Josh Slocum has returned aboard the Spray, hallelujah. Josh Slocum has come home aboard the Spray. From Fairhaven, Massachusetts they did sail into the cold Atlantic Ocean, wind and hail. 3 months out he took the fever, and the Spray she had no crew, but the pilot of the Pinta manned the helm and brought her through. Josh Slocum sailed alone aboard the Spray. At Gibraltar he changed the course to round the Horn. Pirate thieves could not be challenged like a storm. Down Brazil and Argentina to the straits they made their way, preparing for the winter winds that blow all night and day. Josh Slocum sailed alone aboard the Spray. When the ice ceased whirling round them in the gale, heathen savages abounded and assailed. He met Black Pedro face to face in that cold and barren waste. Josh Slocum and the Spray down off the tip of Argentina, in the grip of storm and peril 60 days. Now the vast great Pacific opened wide. They sailed and sailed where no man knows the tide. From the Isle of Juan Fernandez they sailed 43 days. Then another 29 till his eyes on land did gaze. Josh Slocum sailed alone aboard the Spray. Through the islands to Australia westward bound, stopping off and giving lectures in the towns. Each stop was met with open hearts, and each was hard to leave. The South Pacific paradise made Joshua Slocum grieve. He sailed off sad and lonely on the Spray. From Australia to the Keeling Cocos Isles, they put behind the vast Pacific miles. Joshua Slocum never faltered in the trust he gave the Spray. She sailed the Indian Ocean just as if she knew the way. Neither storm nor coral reef could stop the Spray. At South Africa they took a well-earned rest. Then they turned the Cape of Storms and headed west. Joshua Slocum and the Spray in the Atlantic once again. sailing day and night and day towards their journey's end. Josh Slocum and the Spray coming home again. Up Brazil into familiar Virgin Isles, off Cape Hatteras in fog for miles and miles, they saw the lights of New York City and then Boston nearly home. Josh Slocum has come back aboard the Spray all alone. Josh Slocum has returned aboard the Spray. On that Massachusetts river rests the Spray, wherefrom she sailed in '95 one April day. Down the cold Atlantic Ocean, through Magellan Strait she sailed, out across the vast Pacific, sailing true and never failed. Josh Slocum sailed alone aboard the Spray, hallelujah. Josh Slocum has come home aboard the Spray. The train ran black through the Tennessee night, the window refracting the light in the glasses he wore. Pine trees like crosses reaching the sky stood watch as the train sped by on the opposite shore. Cliff Cauldren by name, with the thinning black hair and the Coke bottle glasses that stared from the fast midnight train. There in the window, blurred and refracted so they seemed to cover his brain. Passengers sleeping in strange situations, with necks that seem broken, transition figures apart. Traveling alone on their long journeys, with dim yellow ceiling lamps burning as if short of air. Cliff Cauldren rises, the only one waking. He steps to the rear, shaking at something he's seen. And into the toilet, Cliff Cauldren vomits a putrid, thick liquid, mud green. He enters the Pullman all musty and darkened. The porter stands up and motions that he must leave. The porter is silenced and lies in a bundle. Cauldren advances, knife handle, blood on his sleeve. The sleeping compartments like drawers in a morgue, carrying souls stored for some judgment day. The windows are blackened, no light leaves or enters, cross ties click-clacking away. Kerosene spilled on the worn velvet carpet, the black curtains splashed with the volatile liquid the same. A match lighted bright in the face of Cliff Cauldren, thrown to the floor, which ignites and bursts into flame. Magnified eyes reflect the inferno, the crackling flames leap, the sleeping souls wake midst their scream. Cliff Cauldren turning, walks from the burning, locking the door as he leaves. There in the window, the Coke bottle glasses stare, and a small face, bright-eyed, watches behind. I'm writing to you to tell you I've fallen so low that the life's lifeline champions me, the hero of a drug-crazed corps here at the bottom. You've never imagined souls as desperate as we. No drink, no more drink to flow through my body. No, my lips must never touch the bottle again. The myth of the strong drink man, scattered, all shattered. I want to come back. I'm down at the end. The feel of the vinyl stool, the glass on the counter, all the king's horses and men waiting profound. The red and the green, rich brown shine from the bottles, holding the world at bay. Swig another swill down. No drink, no more drink to flow through my body. No, my lips must never touch the bottle again. The myth of the strong drink man, scattered, all shattered. I want to come back. I'm down at the end. The view from afar, too far, awash in the squigglies, the piercing and pounding thud through numbness and pain, the foot that flies forward off in some weird direction, the lurch and the crash, laugh, smash down, no explain. No drink, no more drink to flow through my body. No, my lips must never touch the bottle again. The myth of the strong drink man, scattered, all shattered. I want to come back. I'm down at the end. I'm writing to you to tell you I've fallen. Excretory walls pour forth delirium ooze, and those who would stand wear boots that tread on the fingers. The crawl to the wall is all that I've left to choose. no drink, no more drink to flow through my body. No, my lips must never touch the bottle again. The myth of the strong drink man, scattered, all shattered. I want to come back. I'm down at the end. Won't you come back? I'm down at the end. When I left my father's house, I was well supplied. I made a mistake, I went wrong, I'm dissatisfied, and I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home, acknowledge I done wrong. I'll go back to my father's house, fall down on my face, say that I'm unworthy, I'll take a servant's place. I'll go back to my father's house, the place I love so dear. There I always had plenty to eat, I'm a starving here, and I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home, acknowledge I done wrong. Father seen him a-comin', he met him with a smile, threw his arms around him, said, "This is my wandering child." Father said to his servant, "Go kill a fatted calf, invite all friends and relatives, my son's come home at last, and I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home, acknowledge I done wrong." Elder son was jealous. Well, I believe I heard him say, "You give my brother his portion, I never went away." Father said to the elder son, "You've been both good and kind. No calf have I given thee, but all I have is thine." I saw a wayworn traveller in tattered garments clad, struggling up the mountain, it seemed that he was sad. His back was laden heavy, his strength was almost gone. He shouted as he journeyed, "Deliverance will come." Then palms of victory, crowns of glory, I shall wear. The summer sun was shining, the sweat was on his brow, his garments worn and dusty, his steps seemed very slow. But he kept pressing onward, for he was wending home, shouting as he journeyed, deliverance will come. Then palms of victory, crowns of glory, palms of victory I shall wear. The songsters in the arbor that stood beside the way attracted his attention, inviting his delay. His watchword being onward, he stopped his ears and ran, shouting as he journeyed, deliverance will come. Then palms of victory, crowns of glory, palms of victory I shall wear. While gazing on that city just o'er the narrow flood, a band of holy angels came from the throne of God. They bore him on their pinions, save for the dashing foam, joined him in his triumph, deliverance has come. Then palms of victory, crowns of glory, palms of victory I shall wear. Palms of victory I shall wear. When I was a wee laddie, my old granddaddy would take me out on the C&O. And when a locomotive on a fast freight exploded by, he'd hold me up and yell, boy, there she goes. Them big wheels a-turning, side rods a-churning, the noise always made me cry. I'd hold Granddaddy tight until the train went out of sight. Then he'd take me in his lap and dry my eyes. And oh, that reminds me of the time when the railroad used to run de-o-lee, down along the mountainside, de-o-lee. But now those silver rails are rusty red, and the railroad's almost dead, de-o-lee. What a ways we've come. Summers we'd go fishing, cross the tracks and cross the ditch, down to the reedy creek where the rainbows run. Sit there waiting, counting cars on all the freights, and he could tell me where every car come from. He'd ridden all the trains from Santa Fe to Maine, had a tale to tell for every summer day. Then the year I turned 10, I lost my best friend. My old granddaddy passed away. And oh, that reminds me of the time when the railroad used to run, de-o-lee, down along the mountainside, de-o-lee. But now those silver rails are rusty red, and the railroad's almost dead, de-o-lee. What a ways we've come. Last year my daughter had a little baby, they named him after his granddad. Yesterday the two of us went to see where I grew up. The visit left me feeling kind of sad. There's no traffic on the C&O. We didn't hear a whistle blow. Grass was growing through the old cross tie. The little one was wide awake, but never got to see a freight. Granddaddy wasn't there to dry my eyes. And oh, that reminds me of the time when the railroad used to run doodle-ee, down along the mountainside, doodle-ee. But now those silver rails are rusty red, and the railroad's almost dead, doodle-ee. What a ways we've come. And now those silver rails are rusty red, and the railroad's almost dead, doodle-ee. What a ways we've come. When the big rivers froze and the blue spruce are white and the grizzly bear sleeps through the long winter night, this cabin's my home, just 7 by 10. And the fire keeps me warm while I'm remembering. Sally, it's you my heart listens to. In Montana away from childhood we grew. I have found such peace in Alaska so quiet. Sally, come soon. Sweetheart, good night. You can hear the white snow as it falls from the sky, how gently it rests on the frozen outside. You can hear the gray smoke up the chimney it climbs out into the cold of Alaska tonight. Sally, it's you my heart listens to. In Montana away from childhood we grew. I have found such peace in Alaska so quiet. Sally, come soon. Sweetheart, good night. When the big river's free and the king salmon run and the caribou breed make Alaska our home, we'll meet in the spring and start out anew. Sally, come soon. Sweetheart, it's you. Sally, it's you my heart listens to. In Montana away from childhood we grew. I have found such peace in Alaska so quiet. Sally, come soon. Sweetheart, good night.